Hi there, my name is Krista Klein and I've been riding and showing horses for the past 20 years. It's a passion of mine and I love doing it and would love to help you learn how to get a horse ready to ride today. We're going to come over and meet my assistant Peyton. She's a 9-year-old paint horse that I've had for the past couple of years. This is a halter and the lead rope we're going to use to lead the horse out of the stall. We start with the nose band, and this is the crown of the halter. Take the nose band, we'll slide it over her nose, and then slide this up over behind her ears. And then we'll latch it securely. Take the lead rope, you always, in your left hand, hold the end of it. Lead the horse with the right hand on the left side of them. And we're ready to go. One important thing about horse carriers, you never want to turn a horse towards you. They can get in your space and step on you, and that's very dangerous. So always push them away. You may have noticed Peyton's big belly. She's a mare, so a female horse, and she's going to be having a baby next March. We're really excited for that new addition. We have her in the cross tie area. You may be wondering what a cross tie is. We use these to latch the horse so she stays in place here while we groom her and it's not moving around, and it's a safe way to do so. You'll notice the latch on the cross tie. This is a quick release. This is a safety feature in case the horse gets scared. You can quickly undo it in the safest way possible. So we're going to put this on the halter. Start with this side, I'll move to the other side. And when you have both of them securely fastened, we can remove the lead rope. We want to do this so it's not dangling on the floor. You could get your legs tangled up in it or hers, and it could be a safety hazard. So Peyton did a great job. We're going to give her a treat to get started. She enjoys that. When we do this, we want to make sure you keep your hands flat so they don't nibble on your fingers on accident. They might think it's a carrot or something and would not turn out too well. Okay, we'll save the rest for later. All right, so now we're ready to get her groomed to start riding. We want to groom a horse beforehand. It gives us a chance to check over their body and make sure they don't have any injuries, any cuts or things to be concerned about. Also, we want to make sure the dirt's all removed. If you have a lot of dirt under your saddle, it could cause a saddle sore. A rock in the horse's hoof could cause lameness or soreness issues. So it gives us a chance to kind of do a thorough examination of them. I have my tools laid out here ready to go. We're going to start with the metal curry comb. This is kind of a more abrasive tool to help get all the big chunks of mud or dirt off of the horse. This time of year, it's been nicer, so we don't tend to have as much of that, but we can kind of go over them real quick with this. We don't want to use this one on their face or kind of on their knees or parts that are maybe a little more sensitive to a sharp object, so we'll just kind of real quickly brush over the body. And we're going to do just kind of a real quick overview of the tools, but usually we'll go maybe a little more thorough in a full session of it when you're getting ready. Next, this is our rubber curry. So this kind of helps, we'll use it in circular motions to help loosen the dirt, bring it to the surface, any loose hair, it loosens it up. All right. Next tool is the hard brush. This is a more coarse, firm, bristled brush. Good for after we curry to get the chunks of dirt or the mud off. We don't want to use this one on the face either. Okay. Our next tool is the soft brush or the dandy brush. This is a softer bristled brush that's really good for using around their face. Still being gentle, but as as their nose and eye area can be very sensitive. You can use this over the body as well. It helps give them a nice sheen to their coat and get kind of all the fine little objects off their body. This is Show Sheen. It's good to spray in their mane and tail. It helps kind of loosen up all those tangles, prevent it from pulling as much of their hair out. Spray some in their mane. One important safety feature about a horse is you don't want to stand directly behind them. If they were to kick, it puts you in a dangerous spot where you could get hurt very bad. So we'll spray your tail, holding it off to the side. And Show Sheen can also be used on their body to spray. It's important to not spray right in the saddle area where your saddle will go, because it is kind of a slippery finish and it can cause your saddle to slip while you're riding. Since we sprayed that on, we're going to use our mane and tail comb. And this is the horse's forelock. Get the tangles out there. Move over to her mane. And lastly, her tail. And you want to start at the bottom of the tail when brushing. This helps prevent as much hair breakage, as they can get pretty tangly. And they don't have much feeling in their tails, so you can pull on, they have some tangles and it's not going to hurt them, so you don't need to worry about that. Okay. Our last grooming item we're going to discuss today is the hoof pick. It's very important to pick your horse's hooves before each ride to make sure if they have a rock in there or any object in their hoof, we get it out, as it can be pretty tender on their feet. So I'll show you the proper way to pick up the hoof. You want to start up at their shoulder, kind of rub them, move your hand down their leg, just like, and they should pick their hoof up. There is a triangle-shaped object in the hoof. It's called the frog. This is a very sensitive area, so you want to make sure not to hit that with your hoof pick. You start in the crease. She has a lot in here, so it's really good that we're doing this. And we have this brush we can use to kind of see and make sure we got all of the dirt out. Whoa. And that's that frog area I was talking about. So we have all of the dirt removed from the edges. Good girl. Put it down. So usually, just for time's sake, we're not going to go through each one, but we'd want to make sure we pick all 4 hooves prior to riding. Okay. So that was a quick overview of grooming the horse to get them ready before riding. We'll move on to leg wraps. You can use polo wraps, which are bandages you wrap all the way around the legs. These are sport boots. It helps to prevent tendon injuries or leg injuries when riding and just give them some extra support. Okay. So we're going to move down to this is the fetlock area. Secure the back of the boot. And you want to make sure your Velcro straps are coming around on the outside of the leg. And that's how you know you have it on the right foot. And then this piece goes around underneath the fetlock for support. Now that we have Peyton's legs wrapped, we're ready to get the saddle on, which is our last step prior to getting her ready to ride. We're going to start with our saddle pad. You want to make sure you have a good thick saddle pad to help prevent saddle, and one that fits well too, because we don't want any saddle sores, which it can cause from the saddle. So we're going to come over to the left side of the horse. This is the front of the pad. You can tell from the wear leathers are more near the front. So we're going to throw it up on her back. And you want it just in front of kind of her withers here and fits in the crease of her back. We'll grab our Western saddle here from the left side, hand under the pommel and the cantle. We're going to carry it over, and you want to swing it up on their back. Make sure your pad's nice and even. Shifted quite a bit, so we don't want that. This is our cinch. We had it secured up here so it was not swinging too high over underneath the saddle, so I'm going to unsecure it. Move back over to the side with our latigo strap, which is how we secure it. Whoa, girl. Okay, so we're going to put our latigo through the girth. Whoa. Stand. Good girl. And we're going to run it through a couple times to make sure it's secure. Whoa. Stand. Here. She's a little uncomfortable right now with her belly. Once we get it through, move over. Gonna get her centered back on her mats. Whoa, good girl. Let's calm her down a little. Since we have the latigo through our rings here, we're gonna take it, run it back up and around, and secure it back in itself. This is so it doesn't loosen up while we're riding and make our saddle able to slip then. So we'll want to, before we actually get on too, we want to check and make sure, you don't want it extremely tight, but you want to make sure it's very snug so that you're not going to have issues with the saddle slipping. One good thing to do when you're on the ground still is to check your stirrup length. The trick to do that is you can slide your hand up here and you want it to go into your armpit area about, and that's a kind of a good guide to check your stirrup length ahead of time. So, because once you're on, it's kind of hard to adjust. So these are good to go. Our last step then we're going to do, let's put our bridle on. This is a snaffle bit. It's kind of a good all-around bit, not too harsh on their mouth, so you might see this is a pretty common bit. I'm going to remove our cross ties. Whoa. Some people leave a halter on, depending, maybe if you're going trail riding or something, you can leave that under the bridle, but we are gonna undo our halter, and it's good to keep it around their neck, just in case they try to wander off. You have a little bit of a way to kind of keep them secured here. Gonna grab the bridle, grab the bit in your hand, take your thumb and kind of push in the crease of their mouth. That'll help them open it. Gonna slide over one ear and the other. Adjust her forelock. And remove the halter. And now she's ready to ride. Good girl. I hope you found this video educational and informative. If you stop it. Thank you for taking the time today to watch my video. I hope I was able to teach you some tricks on how to get your horse ready to ride, and in the future you'll be able to do it on your own. If you would like any additional, if you have any additional video requests or things you'd like to learn, please comment below in the feedback, and I would appreciate any feedback you have. Thank you very much, and happy trails.